What's up, hockey fans, and welcome to another edition of Just Winging It as we have officially entered the 2021 calendar year. So I guess maybe season 2 of Just Winging It, if you will. But we have a special guest on with us here today, and it's, this guy well. He's been in Kalamazoo for a decade now, and it's Eric Kattelus. First of all, Kat, thanks for doing this. Happy New Year to you and your family. And how excited are you to start fresh now in 2021?
Yeah, I guess start as fresh as we can. A year for the record books, I guess, is in the past, and I don't know if I'm ever going to look back, really.
No, me either. I think people will remember 2020 as a year to forget in a lot of ways. I guess I can't speak for everybody, but what have you been up to since March? The last time we saw you was kind of a crazy week where the season got canceled, and ever since it's kind of been a whirlwind of working from home and quarantining for most people. What have you been up to?
Oh gosh, trying to keep myself busy, whether it be, I took up a little bit of stock market advice from my stepdad. So I've been throwing some, getting my portfolio set up a little bit, having some fun with that. And, spending time at home is not always a bad thing. I have 2 dogs that keep me busy, and my wife was able to work the entire pandemic. So I'm very fortunate for that, and she's been able to stay healthy and safe. And but yeah, I mean, throw it out there. Anything you can do from home, I've tried it, I bet.
I mean, boredom has set in for me, even though I'm still working on as many things as we can for the K-Wings behind the scenes. You still have just that sense of boredom being in the same place. Do you feel that?
Absolutely. We had it was nice, during the season you leave home and you go to the office at the rink. You're interacting with everybody and getting on the ice and getting that exercise in, and then you go to your home. But now it's your home is your work and your work is your home. So it's tough to deal with. It's an adjustment, for probably everyone.
This time of year in a normal year, we're in the middle of a 3-3 or a 4-5 or traveling to a bunch of different cities, and it's a gauntlet. We're kind of hitting that stretch usually. Now it's kind of weird going through the holiday season with no hockey. Is that feeling sunk in for you yet, that the K-Wings opting out? This is just a weird time of year now.
Absolutely. I feel like since mid-September, I was just ready for that season in October, and kept getting pushed back. But what I was thinking about was the New Year's Eve night that we always had, and I was joking with a couple of the other vets, and because those first couple years we stayed at the rink until midnight and celebrated with the fans and everything, and having rookies come in for that was a treat, because I'd tell them we're going to be there, because they're thinking rush out of the game and get downtown Kalamazoo and ready to pop off, and I'm like, no, you're gonna have to maybe get an hour in at the bar if you really want to go. But I've had some great memories all those years, especially around the holidays. You remember the special games.
We had announced you had signed on for a 10th year in Kalamazoo, and this was back in the summer when we still didn't know what the plan was. We were preparing as if we were going to play. Everybody, I think, on staff and in hockey ops, everybody was planning as if we were going to have a season. So you signed on for a 10th year in Kalamazoo. You're 12 games from 500 as a pro, including AHL. I don't know if you've had a chance to process that, but when the opt-out happened, how did that change your plans? How did that throw you for a little bit of a loop?
Wow. Well, it was a tough blow. I know we had a few communications with Coach Bootlin and Coach Martin, and through Zoom with all the players, and they just wanted to keep us up to date with everything that they knew, and what we could know, and what they couldn't really divulge to us at the time. But it was a really tough blow. You're ready for it. You're planning. You signed on. You have such a great relationship with this organization from Coach Bootlin. He's been there every year for me. So that's it's a special place in Kalamazoo, and I'm probably still processing it right now. Really.
Yeah, I was going to say, because last season, you started on injured reserve, and I know that was tough for you. I know you were going through some health things. Yeah. And you finally came back, and it felt like you were hitting your stride at the right time. Last year was such a strange year. All things considered, the season getting canceled, the struggles the team kind of went through in the middle part of the year, and then the playoff push. For you personally, what was that like to go through last season, just being such a crazy year?
Yeah, probably one of the most adverse seasons we've dealt with in Kalamazoo. Personally, over the years, there's guys who get injured, and unfortunately, I was one of those guys, seen pretty regularly year after year early on, and so injuries are always a bit key factor there. But gosh, it was. I hope I never have to experience another one. I'll just say that much, because it was a test, physically and emotionally, mentally, all of the above. Challenging season. But I think as a core group, we were able to stick together, and we had plans every week to what we were trying to accomplish, and we had goals that we set, and we were on the right track. It was just one of those years.
One of my favorite memories from the season, I wrote about this in a blog way back in the summertime, was your first game back. Just knowing what you were going through, you finally got cleared. You got in the lineup. We're wearing those Wonder Woman jerseys, which was, I think, for DC Comics night, which a lot of people were. It was a polarizing jersey choice. We'll put it that way. People loved him or hated him. You come out there on the power play, which we know you're a power play guy. But coming off of IR, you're on the power play 3 minutes in, and backdoor pass to Lear. It's in the back of the net, and just like that, you're on the score sheet. But the reaction of your teammates coming to you to celebrate, I mean, that spoke volumes. What was that memory like to battle through that adversity and then have that awesome moment right out of the gate?
Yeah, that was it was a special moment for sure. I believe that was where we had like a sock toss. Yeah. Is that it? Yeah.
Underwear toss.
So we got all the underwear and socks on the ice. But no, I mean, it wasn't the biggest thing. It wasn't coming back from like an injury. It was just a health issue, a medical issue. So you never really know, because I'm used to the physical injuries, getting the rehab in and everything like that. But a little different situation, and I think I was excited, and I think my teammates, I think they were excited too, which felt really great. And then to get that, maybe just like a first point or first shot on net, something positive, and for Boston to go back door and just put a stick on the ice and made it easy for me. But I think I even turned the wrong way. I curled because I knew, like, I wanted to give, like, I knew I could do it. I knew I could come back, and so I did a little twirl, and then I see all of them just coming towards me. So that was, it was very special, and it means a lot to me as well.
I was gonna say we had all kinds of cameras on the game. Tim's team has like 6 cameras going at once, and I just remember the replay. There was one of them that was on you, and if there was a lip reader out there, we probably couldn't air what you said, but it felt like a sense of relief. I mean, it felt like a monkey off your back just to be able to experience that.
Absolutely.
You're 6th in team history in games played. So we talk about Justin Taylor and setting the record, and you guys have been teammates for a decade. Mm-hmm. You were right there behind him. I mean, you're, for a modern day player, 6th in team history for a team that's been around almost 50 years is a pretty big deal. On top of that, you've played the most games out of any defenseman in K-Wings history. So you're climbing up the leaderboard. How much throughout your career as history and history of this team meant to you? How much have you kind of followed along and knowing how rich the hockey history is in this town?
Yeah, I could probably go on for a while and, talk about everything. And it's a special city. It really is, Kalamazoo. Gosh, I honestly just have so many people to thank, from top down, all the way into our staff and even the front office, everything that they do there to, create an organization and atmosphere that Kalamazoo can be proud of. So, gosh, it's 10 years. You say it like that, just 10 years. And the memories that I'll carry are, I have great memories from the ice. A lot of positive energies, but I'm going to remember everybody off the ice. I think your character is revealed on the ice and off the ice, and some of the the moments that I was able to share with everybody over the years, all my teammates that eventually turned into brothers over the years, it's just been really special. And I've always wanted, and I thought when I'm done, I just want to get everybody together, see all these faces and see everybody that had a part in a special part of my career over the years. So maybe.
You also, yeah, and I was going to say, because we like to do those alumni games too. So when it's all said and done 10 years from now, it'd be fun to get a decade alumni tournament or something where we have the all decade teams from K-Wings history. I don't know. Just thinking of that on the spot.
I'm in. Great.
You also, another feather in your cap as a player is you spent a year and a half or about a full year, I guess, in the AHL. So 45 games with the Chicago Wolves, the next step up closer to the NHL. What's the biggest takeaway from that part of your career that you'll carry with you?
Wow, it's probably how professional everything is handled, and on the scale that it's handled. Moving up my first time, Coach Bootlin said, halfway through a year, he said, you're going to go up to Chicago. And I was like, I don't want to go to another team, and he's like, well, it's the, Chicago Wolves and the, AHL. I was like, okay, well, I'm nervous. I'm already sweating. But yeah, I got up there and I was welcomed with the Chicago Wolves organization. They were, a welcoming organization. They had a pedigree there that was, I had championships there going on. So, I wanted to just keep my head down, prove myself, and work as hard as I could. And, for that first season, I hit a stride there, and I had a great group of guys, a great staff that was, teaching me about the game as well. That was my sophomore year, and still a long time ago, but, very, it's weighed on me. It's the memories there.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about the Moonwalk. Let's go to that game. So we're playing Kansas City, K-Wings in Kansas City. You score a goal. You seem embarrassed, but I think it's one of the coolest memories that people go back to, and they use it as a GIF all the time now. So take me through that moment, the Moonwalk. Was that choreographed, or was that a spur of the moment thing?
That was it was spur of the moment. I was you think about mixing up a celebration every once in a while when you score, and I have a go-to, just the daiquiris. But no, I had heard a Michael Jackson song came on during just a quick TV timeout, and I was thinking that'd be pretty cool. And I'm pretty sure I just kind of jumped out there and shot it, and it went in. And I was like, all right, flip it around and see if I can get it done. And it worked out. The reason I'm a little embarrassed and always laugh about it is because of the brawl that came from that at the beginning of the game 2 nights later. So, and we had Blaney was out there flying and tackling a guy. I was getting beat up by a really tall monster, and so I don't know. I enjoyed it, but I was a little remiss. So I just either way.
Well, let's put it this way. So I wasn't a part of the K-Wings then, but that obviously went viral. And, now that I know you a little bit better, I know that you're a guy that loves the game. You're passionate about the game, and you would never really try to show anybody up. I think it was more just a fun thing that you did, right? Yeah. And clearly you had practiced the Moonwalk before, even though it wasn't maybe choreographed. Like, you knew what you were doing. It was smooth. Yeah. I thought I was watching Michael Jackson on skates out there. Yeah. But the brawl that happened afterwards, did you know that was going down? I mean, did you have a feeling that Kansas City wasn't going to take too kindly to that?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Right after that, the next shift out there, I'm hearing it, and it was towards the end of the game. So we finished that game, unscathed. And then, you really had a couple, I think we went and played maybe Wichita or someone else, and then came back to KC. So we had some time to think about it. And, the more that video was getting spread around, I was kind of like, uh-oh, here we go, more and more. And you could tell, right off the face-off, nobody was looking at the puck. All their players are just kind of staring at me and everybody else. So I think we were ready for it, but I don't know, a little extra excitement.
You mentioned your trademark, Selly, was the daiquiris. Are you talking about the scene from Wedding Crashers?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I was going to say, because it never hit me. I always recognized the Selly, but I was like, what is he doing? It's awesome, but what is it? And then now it hits me. The daiquiris was awesome from Wedding Crashers. Yeah. So you're a guy that's got any do you have any favorites from other guys that you've seen? Favorite Sellys throughout the years, a Justin Taylor or any teammates that you played with?
Oh, gosh. I mean, I see it so often. Tails, it gets a little sickening. He puts out like 25 times. I got to see it in a year, 30 times. So he could mix it up, if anything. No, I honestly, if you could go, just a straight face, no celebration, I'd respect that actually.
Was it you or Ben Wilson who did the symphony composer rile up the crowd? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I think Benny was able to pull that one out. And I think, and Tails, did Tails get that one too, Tim? Yeah.
Was it Taylor? Okay.
Yeah.
So we have all these highlights that Tim saves throughout the years, and that's how I get my hands on them. But another one that I enjoyed was Ben Wilson when he scored. I think it was first goal of the year 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and he just had that look on his face like, "Oh, I scored," which is hilarious. What a great celly.
Yeah.
So let's go back 9 years so far playing for the K-Wings, hopefully more, who knows what the future holds, but do you have a favorite memory of your K-Wings career or a couple that stand out? I mean, that's a lot to pull from probably, so I don't mean to put you on the spot, but
yeah, like I said, it's the memories, off the ice that I'll definitely take with me. We had some exciting games over the years and, overtime winners, but I think it's just the teammates that I have. And they over the year you just meet so many great guys that are all shooting to do what you're trying to do, all supporting each other and just that brotherhood that you really connect with. But there was a trip we actually got to go down to Fort Myers. We stayed there for a week in my rookie year, and I think we won 2 out of 3 games, and we spent every day on the beach. So those trips were always a treat. Always like race through the calendar, see when you're heading down to Florida, and you get to take the western swings and all that. But all of them just mashed into a wonderful experience in Kalamazoo.
You mentioned the brotherhood and your teammates and how close you guys get. I mean, the other part to that is it's not all roses and unicorns and happiness throughout the course of a season. You go on losing streaks, or you go through something as a team that pulls you together, or a personal battle you go through. I mean, is there anything that stands out as like adversity that you faced or you guys as a team face that stands out as something that you'll cherish the struggle and then coming out on the other side?
Yeah, I mean, our regular season push was always, really stressed. We always wanted whether we were segmenting games off, creating, a mock playoff situation, maybe a 7-game series. It'd have to be with multiple teams. But, gosh, honestly, it's tough to say. It's tough to say. Yeah, drawing a bit of a blank.
It's a big scope to choose from, so it's kind of putting you on the spot. But I mean, you played almost all of your career, most of your career with Coach Bootland as your head coach. Joel Martin, for that matter, you were a teammate of for so many years, and then he goes behind the bench, which is an interesting dynamic in itself.
Yeah, it can be.
What are those two guys? What do they mean to you as far as your career goes? What's the biggest thing that you learn from them, or that you'll take away from this experience? Hopefully, again, it's not over yet, but those guys and how big of an impact they made on your career.
Yeah, and like Joel Martin, I admired his work ethic and his focus. His senses are definitely heightened just being a goaltender, but the way he would work on his craft. You'd see him in there with the racket balls and all sorts of hand-eye coordinating drills, and so definitely his specific focus and his and it showed. He was probably I could say that he's one of the best goaltenders that I've ever played in front of, which is extremely comforting as a D-man. You got that extra wall behind you that is going to give just as much as you and is ready for it. So yes, Joel's focus, and then behind the bench, it was a little different, with that transition, like you said. It can be tough for a lot of players and coaches, imagine, but it was pretty flawless back there, because we knew his pedigree, we knew he was ready and to take that step as well, and he was probably just as nervous, jumping behind the bench. He wanted to get out there still, but he did a great job handling the D-men down there. So. And then to go on to Coach Bootland, I just can't thank him enough. Really, that's all the way I feel towards him. He gave me a shot, and I just wanted to play for him. I wanted to play for, everybody. It wasn't, that's why it's kind of hard. I feel like it's kind of hard to pick out those specific moments personally.
Yeah.
Just because I have, I'm just as happy for so many other reasons for so many other players.
You're a Traverse City guy, and I know you went to school in Houghton, but from Traverse City. And I finally had a chance to visit Traverse City this summer during COVID. For a little mini weekend away, play a little golf, enjoy the views. It's a beautiful area. I got to imagine growing up there or spending a good quality amount of time there, you're an outdoorsman or you love the outdoors. Is that fair to say? And what was your favorite part about being from Traverse?
Absolutely. I was spoiled. I'll just give it away right there. Traverse City was, when I grew up, it was a little, obviously a little smaller than it is now, not quite as well known. But just being on the water, every day, driving past the water, and being around, because I'll fish, obviously skate, and just get on there boating, skiing, whatever you want to do, just to have that there was true. It was, you take it for granted, I'll put it that way, when you come inland here to Kalamazoo, but no, any excuse I can to get back up there. I have, for friends and family there, and any excuse and every excuse I'll take to get up to Traverse.
You and I are only, I think, 4 months apart. We're the two 1987 guys on the team. And when you were at Michigan Tech, I was at ASU at the exact same time. And I know what life was like in Tempe in those years, but what was life like in Houghton?
It was, you would just survive the winters. Put it that way. I spent 6 winters up there, and it was on a completely different level than, this lower Michigan, or, northern lower Michigan, as some call it. But no, it was a good experience. I had so many great, teammates up there, but yeah, definitely, the school was tough, and I would just take away the winters. I survive the winters up there.
Yeah.
Enjoy. It's a smaller community, so you get to know people and they get to know you. Yeah, I think, I don't know if I'll ever make it back up there for, living. I know my dad still lives up there, and my wife's mom is still up there, and other family, but I don't know. You'd have to twist my arm to get up to Houghton instead of Traverse.
I was going to ask you, when was the last time you've been up there?
I was up for the Christmas holiday. And I cannot remember the last time we got out on Portage Lake there, and it was just glass. Like you could take a slap shot and then go skate it down.
Yeah. And
just skate and skate and skate. And so I haven't been on on water like that on a lake in, 10 years easily. So that was an experience I'll never forget.
I was talking with another Michigan Tech alum recently in the last couple of years, Jamie Phillips. Now, he was quite a ways after you. I don't think you guys crossed paths there, but obviously he had a nice career as a goalie up in Houghton. And the one thing he echoed that you just said was the winters up there. If you've never experienced a winter in Houghton, you've never experienced a true winter. And I'm like, man, I'm from Minnesota. I know all about winter, but he goes, no. If you've never been to Houghton in the wintertime, you don't know. So that's definitely on the bucket list. But something that stands out about the Huskies program is how much they have a much more rich hockey history than people realize. I mean, people talk about hockey history at the college level, and it's not usually a program that gets brought up, but there's a lot of good players that have come through there. Yeah,
absolutely. They've produced, some NHL talent over the years, and I think now that Mel Pearson was in charge up there, I think he was able to turn the program out a little bit and getting some more national attention and having some more success at the collegiate level. So they're continue to produce players, and this season was actually kind of another special point was going to be Raymond Bryce.
Yep.
He was going to come onto the team, and when I moved up to Houghton, I lived on the same street as him, which was, have younger Raymond coming down, knocking on our door to go down to Edward Street rink and go, slap a ball around or skate around with the puck in the winter, and that was going to be special. That was going to be another full circle moment, I guess, for me in the hockey world over my career. And I was able to see his dad up there over Christmas, so I passed on some good words and best of luck, and all good things.
I was gonna say 10 years apart, both Huskies would have been on the same roster. I mean, it'd been pretty cool to, like you said, full circle moment. I get that feeling. I know it's not the same thing, but I have buddies or guys that I've kept in touch with now that are journalism students at ASU that graduated and now are broadcasting hockey. I think my buddy for the Norfolk Admirals is 10 years younger than me, and he's, ASU grad in the ECHL, so it's kind of like, it's pretty cool. It also makes me feel old, but
Absolutely does. Absolutely
comes with the territory.
Indeed.
I got some fun ones for you real quick, some rapid fire ones.
Oh boy.
Best cheat day meal.
Gosh, probably just a pizza.
Oh yeah,
just a full pizza.
That's kind of like an everyday meal for me, but I gotta make it a cheat day meal again. Earliest hockey memory.
Oh, it was going into the Howe Ice Arena in Traverse City. That there's a tree right out front that, when I was younger, it was like look up like this, and just kind of as I walked towards the door, I almost hit the door with my face. But that tree, that's the first memory for sure. And when you go look at that tree now, and it's maybe twice as tall as I am now, so it's it wasn't on the ice. It was just those early mornings, mom or dad driving me to the rink. I'm dragging my bag, half asleep, and that was it.
Best part of the outdoor game in Toledo. You were a part of the original. We were supposed to play in another one this year.
Yeah, we were. I was looking forward to that. Well, that was a whole Winterfest experience. Was awesome. They did a great job in Kalamazoo, and then to go to Toledo and play on the Mud Hens field, it felt to us it was like the NHL. Just out there in those games. And I'm sure those guys had the same feelings we were feeling. But no, I have a picture actually of Scott Allison, trainer, and we were out there. It must have been, I think it was actually during warm-ups, because I can't remember what jersey, if I had the game jersey on at practice, but might have just been practice. We were both, I was just over chatting with him on the bench, and he's just looking at the ice, and I was looking at the ice, and that's a picture that I'm going to get framed, part of my career right there. That was a good one. And the whole experience, that was just, Matt Carey getting the last goal, kind of like 5 minutes left situation, miracle situation going on, watching the clock, and to be able to win there in Toledo. We had, a section of fans over in the corner that were just going crazy. So a great memory for sure.
What's your go-to food at a Super Bowl party?
Oh, chips and dips. Like I'm deep into the queso dips. I like smuggle it to the bathroom for a couple bites, bring it back.
I'm with you on that one. Best advantage of being a vet on a team with a bunch of rookies?
Oh God, no one's telling you what to do. And if you say something, usually they don't have much to say back. But no, I don't know. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's not like picking on the rookies or anything, but just having fun with them. Because you just put on a straight face and they'll believe anything you say.
I was thinking very specific. Like you're one of the first one that gets to pick the bunk on a bus trip and make the rookies take the worst bunks.
Yeah. That's been a perk though. I've always been able to sneak in somewhere.
Favorite place you've ever traveled?
Wow, I'd want to say Hawaii. Went to Maui with my wife for our honeymoon, and I could stay. It's a little pricey, but out in the sun every day. That's just it's a wonder of the world out there in the middle of the ocean.
Hard to beat. Who would be an actor who would play you in a movie?
Wow. Quick fire here. How about Kevin Costner?
There you go.
Love of the game, the old timer.
Yeah. Most embarrassing song or artist on your playlist right now?
Oh, I just deleted it, but it was Carly Rae Jepsen. Call
There
Me
you go.
Maybe.
There you go.
It's
I
gone
remember
now.
when that was a hit. Let's see. Teammate that you've played with throughout your career who was the best golfer? You can say yourself if it's you.
Yeah, I mean, if I have a hot day, yeah, I might be the best. But I played with like Marty this past summer, and I think we even tied it up, and he's been developing his game over the years. So I'd
Yeah.
like to say Justin Taylor, but it's not his. Not his. He's never gonna beat me.
My last one is one thing that very few people know about you. One fun fact about yourself.
Wow. Fun fact, huh? I don't know. I mean, I have good vision. Very, very good vision. But you can see that on the ice. So
Yeah.
well, I don't know. You're kind of stumping me with this one. I gotta kill some time here. Maybe circle back.
Okay. Okay. I've got a few more non-rapid fire to wrap it up. So if you think of it between now and then. I know you and your brother are close. At one point, he was living out in Chicago. I don't know if he still is, but how often do you get to see him? I know quarantine and this whole pandemic's kind of thrown things for a loop a little bit, but how often do you get to see your brother?
So he's recently moved to Cleveland, just moving up the ladder with Sherwin-Williams, and really proud of him. He said, it was just a career move. He didn't really want to get out of Chicago, but maybe it was time. Been there for a while, and made the right decision. But Chicago is a lot closer than Cleveland. But I've been out there twice now, and he just shows me that like the best time. We always have the restaurants, everything planned out, got the meals planned out the whole time, and so we eat a lot of food, drink a lot, and just enjoy each other. But whenever I can, it's great to see him.
Yeah. Well, your wife has been a big supporter of your career as well. How important has that been throughout the years, especially as you've gone further into your career in the last few years?
Yeah, she's been incredibly supportive. If she wasn't with me, I don't think I don't know what I'd be doing, if I'd still be playing hockey or where I'd be. To be honest, like they say, she's just my rock. She's always there for me, and it takes everyone. It takes your entire family to have that support for you to keep chasing your dream and keep chasing what makes you happy. And there's guys out there in my men's league that I'm a little envious of you that you have that job, that you've been there at 8 years and you love it, and they're looking back over at me. They're like, wow, I wish I could still play professionally, and so I don't know. It's with my wife there, she's I'm just so impressed with what she does too.
Yeah.
She's a doctor of psychiatry and moving her way up, and we're going out for a residency that she's getting into for a year. We're heading out east, so very exciting. And right, I think she's dealt with me for a few years, so now I can bounce around with her wherever she wants to go for a couple.
I got to bring it all full circle now. With that going on, with the pandemic, with where you're at in your career, I mean, how much has this crazy year made you think, I guess, on what the future holds, what's next for you, what's after hockey, whenever that is, or has it motivated you to want to get back even more, knowing that this pandemic just threw everything off?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's right now. I was kind of living day to day. Really, you never know what to expect, what's happening, what's coming. You can't predict anything, and to look off into the future a little ways now, it's it's a little scary. Into the unfamiliar, I guess. But with that support system and everybody that is around me, it's an easy thing to go with them, I guess, and be take that challenge with that your family and loved ones and everyone. So
have you figured out that fun fact that nobody knows about you?
Oh gosh, no. I have a niece, and I don't know what it is about me, but she fell in love with me, and I had no idea. So a fun fact I kind of learned about myself, that I was actually, growing up in the locker room, you're not around a lot of girls. It's just the guys, and so I got something with my little niece, and I had no idea. I was good with helping out with my little niece. She's just so sweet and always asking to help, and she can be a bit of a pill sometimes, but hey, I might be able to handle this kid thing someday.
Maybe, yeah, I was gonna say maybe it's setting you up to be a good girl dad someday.
Yeah,
I know girl dad was kind of the theme of 2020.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My wife, she's a figure skater, and so is this little one. So it's in our blood.
Well, I appreciate you doing this. I know it's a long time coming. We needed to get you on a show, so I'm glad we were able to get you on Just Winging It and learn some more about you. And hey, 2020 is over, man. We don't have to look back now, but I will recommend, if you haven't seen it yet on Netflix, Death to 2020 with Samuel Jackson is one of the funniest things I've watched recently. I know you would enjoy it if you get a chance. But
absolutely, I'll add it to the list.
2021 is a fresh start, so all the best to you and your family, and we hope to hear from you soon.
Great, thanks, JP. Thanks, Tim. Cheers.